Okay, today we're going to be comparing the Skeet IRX and the Pixels on Target Voodoo S in a head-to-head mini clip-on thermal competition. Look at some generalized objects in the background here. 1x optical mag. We'll fill up the scope here a little bit. Focus on this truck. Kind of see the level of detail that we have. Decrease the gain slightly. See tread patterns on this tire. Zoom into it. See the type of detail that is retained. Zoom back out. Increase the gain to about 3 for this test. Focus out to infinity. Do a quick pan around. Zoom into this building, roughly 600 yards away from this position. 10 times, back out to 1, and back to about 1.5. Look at the house. Trees. Garbage can. Buildings out in the distance. Fire truck. Mountains in the background are about 5 to 6 miles away. Got a horse right here. In a stable. Go through color palettes. So here in the distance, roughly 200 yards from my position right now. Fake deer. 150 yards. Bale of hay. We'll get this towards focused. Focus back out. Hillside. Metal water pail. Metal piping. And then back to the truck. Right. Now to do the same thing with the Skeet. Okay, so now we're going to be using the Skeet. Skeet IRX, Trigicon Oasis. I'll increase the brightness here to make this a relatively fair comparison. Okay. Zoom into the door. And you can see you have much less back-end demagnification because this display starts to fill up the screen, or should I say your back-end eyepiece of your day optic at 1x. Right here You're about 1.25 times optical mag, looking at the distance. Contrast setting here, we'll turn on 3. Sure, the units are about as equivalent as they are. See, this display has a greenish hue to it. So we'll start off with the truck. Zoom this in a little bit, make it more comparable with the Voodoo. Much wider field of view here. Decrease the gain just like we did the Voodoo. Zoom in. Zoom in the tires. You can see it gets a little bit more blurry as opposed to what the Voodoo does. The Voodoo, I had the brightness settings of 3, I want to say. 3 of 10, 3 or 4 of 10. This is at 50%. Voodoo's a lot more bright compared to what this is. Go ahead, nuke the image. This display, it reminds me a little bit more of almost like a white phosphor tube. We'll try to adjust this parallax here to where it's, there we go, nice and sharp. Voodoo retains a little bit more detail at distance. House. Tree right here. We'll increase this gain 3. Zoom into it. It's darkening up. RV out here still looks pretty decent. Increasing magnification, fire truck. You can see some horizontal gridding. Alright, let's take a look at these horses out here again. So now you really can't see the legs too much compared to what you could with the Voodoo. That'd be pretty difficult to PID what this animal is at distance. Alright. Color palettes, black hot, black edge detect, white hot. Zoom in here. Starts to degrade pretty rapidly. Not horrible. Do a nuke cycle, and then back black hot. You can see there's a little bit more of a fisheye effect too on this, as opposed to what you have with the Voodoo S. Houses up here. Look at these mock deer. 150 yards away again. You can still kind of PID what they are. Right now we're at 10 times optical mag. Zooming back out, back out. Take a look at this stack of hay. No digital sharpness enhancer on this. You just have a manual focus to my knowledge. Zooming into this. Still relatively decent. And then back out. So I'm at 1 times optical mag right now. Even at 1 times, you really start to fill up the back end of your eyepiece of your day optic. Looking up. Or pale. You can see even as a clip-on, it doesn't have a whole bunch of back end demag. You can still use this for a pretty close-up, you know, within 100, 200 yard thermal clip-on. Still functions quite well in that regard. 10 times optical mag. 1 times optical, and about 1 1/4. back to this building 10 times. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.